San Francisco is world famous for many things, including sourdough bread and the Golden Gate Bridge, but with how much it's changed and the cost continuing to rise, is it the right place for you? Hello, my name is Holly, and I'm a realtor who was born, raised, and works in the San Francisco North Bay. I'm going to give you 4 pros and 4 cons to leaving San Francisco and help you make that decision. Let's get into it. Everyone likes to start with the bad, right? So con number 1 of leaving San Francisco is less diversity. Like every major U.S. city, San Francisco has a very diverse population compared to its surrounding suburbs. Diversity has just shown time and time again, whether that's through personal experience or multiple studies that have been done, that when a workplace, a classroom, or a community is more diverse, everybody benefits from that. When people start to learn about one another and come together to problem solve and share their wisdom and skill sets, it's just better for everybody. It's not to say that there's zero diversity in Sonoma County or Marin County, but it's homogenous compared to San Francisco, for sure. I have seen a lot change since I was a little kid, but I'm definitely looking forward to the day that it's even more diverse in Sonoma and Marin. Okay, con number 2 is the commute. California is known for traffic. We're like synonymous with traffic. And if you move out of San Francisco but plan on commuting back from Sonoma and Marin County, traffic and commuting is going to be a big part of your life. I personally think you should add 10 to 20 minutes on whatever Google Maps says, because from door to door with like navigating parking and that kind of thing, it's going to add a little bit of time. It's definitely going to be worse during rush hour, evening and morning, like Monday through Friday. So if you have an off-hour shift like at UCSF, it's going to be smoother for sure. But if you're doing the Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, or if you're going back into the city for like a Giants game or an event, expect some traffic, leave some travel time. Con number 3 is, bad public transportation. In my opinion, I'm pretty vocal about this. It's not a secret. Public transportation is not what it should be. We do have the Golden Gate Transit buses, the SMART train, and the Marin ferry terminals to get back into San Francisco, though. Golden Gate Transit buses do pick up in Sonoma and Marin County and can drive you back into San Francisco. They use the transit app, which makes it a little bit easier. But if you're as far north as Santa Rosa, depending on what time you need to get to work, the pickup time could be as early as 4 a.m. The SMART train is one of my favorite things in the San Francisco North Bay. We're finally on board with the train system, and it takes you from as far north as the Santa Rosa Airport to the Larkspur Ferry Terminal. It's not necessarily going to save you a lot of time and money, and it has been running less since the pandemic started, but hopefully their schedule will pick back up soon. However, the ride is super easy and very pretty. I really like it. Riding on the bus or the train does give you a lot more free time and peace of mind if you're like me and not a big fan of driving, even though I have to drive all the time for work. Whoa. But it's nice that there's an option other than driving or carpooling. Out of the 3 ferry terminals in Marin County, the Larkspur Ferry by far has the most departures Monday through Friday during like your typical work hours, with Sausalito and Tiburon have like 1 to 2. But on the weekends, Sausalito and Tiburon will have a lot more. And con number 4 of moving out of San Francisco is there's just less to do. San Francisco has the Warriors. They have an aquarium. They have the Giants. They have a zoo. There's malls. There's bars. There's restaurants. There's pop-ups. There's Golden Gate Park. Nightclubs. There's comedy clubs. Come on, there's so much to do there. The San Francisco North Bay, not so much. Do not get me wrong, there are definitely things to do in Sonoma and Marin County. There's like plenty of shows to see, there's movie theaters and malls and the good stuff like that, but it's just spread out and you need a car to get to like 95% of it. Okay, now that I've just given you 4 reasons you might not want to leave San Francisco, hit like and subscribe before I finish this video up and give you 4 reasons you might want to leave San Francisco. Pro number 1 is nature. There are 11 state parks in Sonoma County and 7 state parks in Marin County. Okay, that's 18 huge parks in the North Bay where you can hike, bike, horse ride, camp, fish, kayak, or some combination of those things at any of them. It's so much fun. It's so beautiful. And it's not just parks. We are part of wine country. We have gorgeous wineries that you can tour and taste at. It's a really great time. But wait, there's more. We have rivers, lakes, and beaches. Yes, you heard that right. Plurals. We have several to choose from. It's great. You can go paddleboarding, kayaking. There's like people, my office is on the Petaluma River. I think I've mentioned in another video how there's always people like kayaking out there. Somebody just had a little run-in. I heard them yelling. It was very funny, but they're okay. Don't worry. The North Bay has multiple golf courses, campgrounds, apple orchards, pumpkin patches, and a ropes course. And talking about Marin County specifically, it's open space. Like almost 85% of the county is protected open space. Sonoma County also has protected open space, and on top of that, a lot of it is still very agricultural. So if you're driving by, you'll see cows, horses, goats, they're right on the side of the freeway. It's kind of cool. Okay, you had to know this was coming. The second pro of moving out of San Francisco into the North Bay is that it is less expensive. The median single-family home price in San Francisco in August of 2021 was $1.8 million, whereas in Marin County it was $1.65 million and $749,000 in Sonoma County. And the difference gets even greater if you're talking about buying a townhome or a condo. The median home price for condos and townhomes in San Francisco was $1.2 million, whereas it was $730,000 in Marin County and $428,000 in Sonoma County. So kind of random and maybe not applies to everybody, but the parking tickets, way less. I get parking tickets in Santa Fe a little too often, and they're like $35. I think they're like $45 in Petaluma. But my clientele in the city, when they get a parking ticket, it's like $85 or $90 for an expired meter. Granted, if you're watching this video from outside of California, yes, other costs outside of California are way less than any of the places that I just mentioned. But if we're specifically talking about moving out of San Francisco into one of the surrounding Bay Area suburbs, the North Bay is going to be less expensive than the city. Okay, and pro number 3 is less crime. I know this is a sensitive topic, and I'm the first to admit that a lot goes into crime rates, including how frickin' expensive it is to live anywhere in the Bay Area, but that is a subject for another day. This is always something you need to investigate for yourself before you move anywhere like I do. Different things are going to be more or less important to different people. There are times that I've hung out in areas that some people don't care for in San Francisco into the late hours of the night and been completely fine. And then there's times where I've gone to a Giants game and had my window smashed in. It's just not a secret that there are crimes and other issues prevalent in San Francisco. That being said, we did have a problem with catalytic converter thieves not that long ago in the North Bay. You know, in both San Francisco and the North Bay counties, you're going to come across theft, shoplifting, you're going to come across drunk driving, domestic violence, drug issues, and unhoused population. These problems exist everywhere in the world, but compared to San Francisco, it happens more openly and in greater rates than it does in the North Bay, generally speaking. Okay, and the very last pro I'm going to say for today of moving out of San Francisco is the weather. Most days during the year, you're not getting much above 70 degrees in San Francisco, and Carl the Fog is a permanent resident, but over the years, there are hotter summer days coming along in the city. Whereas in Sonoma and Marin County, you absolutely get summer days. We regularly get days during the summer that are in the high 90s. We definitely get a few 100-degree days, and if you love the sun, it's a great thing. Sonoma and Marin County have a pretty late running summer. It's just getting into October now when I'm filming, and I just had to put my space heater out like yesterday. There definitely has been a water shortage the last few years, but when it does start raining, that usually comes around Halloween and can last through the spring. So if everything we've just talked about has you thinking you should move out of San Francisco, please give me a call, send me a text, shoot me an email. Let's get started on a specific plan and timeline for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.